All right, so let's get it started. We're gonna do just a quick sound check. Let's see. Just wait for a few minutes before other people join. Perfect. All right. Well, then, thank you for joining today. Today is the second week of August. We are on our community call session 3. This is the third time we're doing a live session recording for showcasing some of the progress that we have been doing at HOPR, alongside to showcase some of our bounties, some of the works that we have been doing in terms of with the community, internally as a team, and pretty much in terms of marketing, branding, and other topics. So, first of all, we're just going to give a few minutes to wait until we additional people join. As always, please make sure to check you can join us via the YouTube session, write us some comments on the Telegram channel, on Discord. In this session, some team members drop by, so in case you have any questions about the topic, about the projects that we're working, please feel free to ask some questions and just shoot right away. At the end of the community call, we're gonna give some closing remarks and just some additional time for QA. And as well, we usually give an intermission before playing the Mazebot, the game that we do every community call. Just to give you a few, well, I'll give you some additional updates about that. But yeah, let's just wait a little bit until we see some topics. All right, so the voice seems to be working. Thank you, Robert. Perfect. Let me double check. We have some people on Discord. Yep. All right. Perfect. Awesome. So let's get started then. Perfect. So if you can see to the right of my screen, you can see the agenda. Today's agenda is pretty simple. As always, we spend the first half an hour going over some of the updates that we have been doing with HOPR, alongside some of the challenges or in general some of the technical advances that we have been doing in the protocol or in any other topics. Then the rest of the half an hour, we play a game session. Usually for that, you need to download HOPR Chat. If you're new, if you're just joining, or if it's the first time that you have joined our community call session, you can download the HOPR Chat on our GitHub page. Our GitHub page is just github.com/hoppernet. And then over there, we'll have all our projects. And for HOPR Chat, just make sure to look here for a small tab that says HOPR Chat, and then download the latest release. An important topic that I mentioned over Telegram, but in case if you are not in Telegram, I will briefly share the contact. You can see the contact information at the end. Please make sure to download the latest release. The latest release is 1.3.1. This is the one that we'll be working for today game session, and that one just has a network upgrade. So that one just connects you to the Bootstrap server. So if you didn't have a previous version, if you had a previous version such as 1.3.0, please download the latest one. Or if you are technical, you can also change the content of the .m file that is shipped within the release as to connect to the new Bootstrap servers. The Bootstrap servers were shared on Telegram, so please feel free to just jump and change them as such. So let's get right away with updates. First of all, we're very happy to share our new brand for people that haven't seen our website. We just did a major brand that we shared. That we were very close to share the last session, but we are officially sharing this session. Pretty much, we did a lot of work with our marketing department, with a lot of the communication, a lot of what we want to convey, right? So, in general, our general motto is changing data privacy for good. You can read more about our appearance in the media. You can read more about why are we building HOPR, why do we think that it's important, and of course the use cases that we want, right? So we have been mentioning this a little bit in the past. and not only in terms of the technical applications, but pretty much the general real world use applications, right? So Hopper, we're targeting, of course, privacy experts, we're targeting cryptographers, we're targeting miners, entrepreneurs, investors. There's a whole range of different topics. At the end of the day, we're very focused on privacy or brand, and pretty much the tone that we're looking for is to make sure that privacy is not something daunting or something that is scary, but it's something that it's at your rest, that you something that we can definitely use. We did some major minor announcement and some of the partnerships that we're looking, and then of course we are going to be providing a blog post in the future about the team members and some of the work that we have been doing here and there. A minor shout out to some of the work. So in case that you want to reach us in any of the channels, please make sure that right now we have our LinkedIn, Telegram, Twitter. You can find them, and then you can just jump and reach us for any questions. We have also made public a lot of the information that we can do in the past. And if you have any questions or topics, please do not hesitate to reach us out, and you can see more about Hopper and the brand in our website. Perfect. So I also would like to introduce to our project boards. Right now, this is something more of inside peek. This is something that we haven't yet made public to the general audience. Right now, this is just a way for you to visualize how we are administering and managing some of the tasks that we are doing within the HOPR Association. As a quick reminder, the HOPR Association, this is the company behind, well, it's the association behind the development of the HOPR Protocol. We're an open source nonprofit association that is looking to develop HOPR as a open source library, as an open source protocol that anybody can use. Right now, our internal project management tool or process has been pretty much behind the wraps or for the team. We're looking to make this process a little bit more open for the public. We are going to be showcasing a little bit of the planning of how we are picking which projects to work, how we are developing some of the features, and what are we tailoring for more importance. This is particularly important for people that want to be ahead of the curve and see what are we doing with the protocol, what are we doing with the technicality, what are we doing with our website. You can see everything over there. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the HOPR ecosystem. So in the past, right now, if you've seen HOPR, we have grown in terms of the technical projects that it had worked. It started being a single project that had everything all together in what we call HOPR Core, and that was pioneered by one of the founders, Robert, who actually put the initial source code for all of the work. Ever since then, HOPR has been developed and grown into multiple projects, into multiple ideas, use cases that we now describe as the HOPR ecosystem, right? Which is kind of like a general term that we use for everything that's involved around HOPR. Right now, we put together a repository. So if you land into our GitHub channel and you don't know where to go or what to do, we put together a small repository that gives you a general understanding and pretty much fetches the most important things about HOPR, right? So that is the HOPRnet-HOPRnet repository. This is a Git repository that has some submodules that allows you to showcase the HOPR ecosystem, right? So at the end of the day, what we are building is, as I described before, not only a protocol, but an entire ecosystem of use cases, systems, applications, and things around HOPR. So far, the ecosystem involves a server. This is going to be very important for when we describe the nodes and when we do this process of having self-sufficient nodes or miners. We have what we call Protos, which is very similar to a REST API. We briefly mentioned in the past session how to interact with a HOPR server via using this protocol API. The HOPR Chat, which is the command line utility that you already have seen and used. We have deployed what we call the chatbots. I will describe a little bit. For the people that were doing the bounty on last week, you already been interacted with some of our chatbots. And the idea of this is not only to do something fun, but also interact and gather some of the issues that we will stumble upon on the protocol, right? So this is also important for us. What is also relevant is that we also share our DevOps, which is the infrastructure where we're running HOPR. Right now, of course, HOPR is targeted to be a decentralized system, but as of today, it still uses centralized applications and centralized servers. Those all that infrastructure is being sponsored by the HOPR Association, but the code and the pretty much general overview can be seen here. We of course have a white paper. We are due to update some of the concepts behind that, but in general, it gives you an idea of what the protocol is. We have the documentation, and last but not least, the press and brand materials. If you want to reach us in any of our social media channels or different communication channels, you can also find us here, where you can pretty much get access to all updates, pretty much follow what we're doing, and be more or less aware of the code that we are doing on a daily basis. Also, if you clone this repository, if you are going to be offline and then you want to learn about HOPR, you can just clone HOPRnet-HOPRnet and push the latest submodules. And that will fetch pretty much all the code that you need to learn about HOPR and understand HOPR and get very, very familiar with HOPR. So, yes. I also made a small effort for putting a small diagram of what we think is the HOPR ecosystem. Right now, I believe that I managed to get the HOPR core, which is the pretty much the core technology that we're discussing. This we use interchangeably with what we call the protocol. We have different applications here. So in this case, we do some things like applications that are relying on the HOPR core. And then at the same time, we have additional infrastructure or supporting elements that provide us with some reliability. Some of the things that I wanted to go very quickly for the HOPR ecosystem before I go for more information about the bounties is we use a lot of some terminology to explain some particular things within the ecosystem, right? So when we use, I saw some of the questions in Telegram last week that were asking, okay, what is the difference between HOPR Chat, HOPR Server, HOPR Node? Like there's a lot of concepts right now. When we say a HOPR Node, and what we refer is any kind of applications or system that is running the HOPR protocol. So in this case, if we go very quickly and saw the previous image that I show you, as you say, like we have the HOPR core, which is the source code of the protocol that we're using. Pretty much a node is any application that is running the HOPR protocol behind the scenes, right? So right now, one of the questions that we had is like, okay, when I'm running a HOPR node, in which port is it listening? So usually HOPR node right now is listening on port 1991. So if you are behind a firewall, if you are using any sort of restrictive port management tool, please make sure that it allows traffic both on TCP and UDP for port 1991. And then what we have so let's say we have here the HOPR protocol or core. And what we have on top are multiple applications that are connecting to the HOPR node, right? So the most common one, this is the ones that you already been using in the past, is the chat, right? So we have, for instance, let's say we have HOPR Chat. HOPR Chat behind the scene actually it's also spins a HOPR node behind the scene. So when you are running a HOPR Chat when in your computer, you are also running a HOPR node, right? So this is important because in the future, or well, not in the future, we're gonna give you moving forward some options to connect to an existing HOPR node, or also giving you pretty much an idea of how to talk to multiple applications, right? So one of the benefits that we do in the future, we're going to have like an admin panel, perhaps something that will give you some statistics about your node, some information about the network, perhaps amount of data that the network has been connected, some configuration parameters, perhaps the amount of HOPR tokens that you have in your screen, or very different information that you might have. That information, let's just go back real quick to the screen. That application will connect very quickly to a HOPR node. So in that case, in that particular case, you can either you can have it running, or more important or more useful, you can connect to this application, right? So for instance, right now, another inside tip is that we are working what it's called HOPR Admin. This is a UI tool that will allow you to manage some of the settings of a HOPR node, and will also give you some capabilities to obtain some of information of the node. Last but not least, so as I mentioned, all these are applications that we are putting together here. An important part that is worth mentioning is HOPR Core relies in the libp2p library. So even behind the scene, we have a deeper library that we will actually want to create a blog post to describe more about this. But in reality, a lot of the network stack, a lot of the work that has been doing over the past few months on top of HOPR Core is thanks to, it could be possible only because of the work that has been done by libp2p. So we will describe a little bit more about this on the future, but what it means is that a lot of the technology that HOPR Core uses behind the scene is compatible on a server technology, but could also be compatible for browser technology. Right now we are doing some work and deploying some services to allow the connection between a HOPR node. So let's say if we have a HOPR node that it's running HOPR Core, it's an instance of HOPR Core. Right now, the browser still cannot connect to a HOPR node. So what we're doing is we put together a small service. It's a small proxy. So this is pretty much a middle layer that it's able to successfully talk to this HOPR node, right? So we call this as a proxy. So in this case, our browser. So let's say in my case, we have Chrome, we have Opera, Firefox, whatever you want to have. This one connects to this proxy, let's say in a port 8080. This one then talks to the HOPR node on port 91, and then it's able to answer back some information and then give us it back. That is actually how we are going to be playing the Mazebot, and that's how we're actually going to be doing some of the work moving forward, particularly with UI related projects. All right. I think we have a couple questions. So for people that are establishing a connection, an important thing is please make sure that you are using the latest version. This is perhaps something worth adding. So let's imagine one of the things that we're doing right now that are the challenges within HOPR Node is that, for instance, when you're running HOPR Chat, so let's say we have HOPR Chat here, which is running behind the scene, is running a HOPR node, which has the protocol implemented. When you're running this on port 91, what it needs to do, it needs to go through your internet connection. Most of the people, thanks to the polls that we have been doing, they are connecting to HOPR node via their local internet, right? So perhaps you're at home and you're connecting behind a router at a home office. Some people are actually perhaps they're using a different device or a different network. But most of the time, what we want to do is that it's accessible as possible. What we're doing is we're trying to communicate to other people that are also behind a similar network, so a similar device in here, and they are also running a HOPR node, right? Sometimes when you get a small timeout connection issue, it's because there's an issue in this part, right? So at the beginning, for allowing to do this interaction, part of the protocol that we're doing is what we call the bootstrap servers. You have heard us mention this a couple times, but in general, there are just centralized servers that we manage within the HOPR Association. These are servers that we're managing within the HOPR Association that instead of trying to go through this firewall connection, we do a relay connection between the Bootstrap server. So that way we can introduce to other people, and then we can have a new connection that will not be behind the firewall. Sometimes what that means is that at least for HOPR Chat, you might need to run crawl a few times. So a few times that might be that you will need to talk to perhaps a HOPR server. Oops. You might need to talk to you might need to explore a different server, a different application. but in short, it will give you more idea what happens when we get a timeout. Either if the servers, perhaps the Bootstrap servers are down, then there might be an issue. But in that case, please approach us in Telegram because we might be upgrading or downgrading the network. All right, so let's move to a different topic now. HOPR Bounties. So just a few updates on the HOPR Bounties. The first one is, first of all, thank you for everybody that is joining and has been participating on the bounties so far. Last week we had a great response from everybody. We had a lot of fun. We got some support, and it's been quite interesting. Just before, by the way, I'm noticing a quick comment here. So for people that are sending messages to Tweetbot, Tweetbot will require some settings to be enabled. I'm gonna describe this a little bit, and also goes for the Mazebot. So if the Mazebot or any of the bots are not answering you right now, that is a that is a feature. So I see some people are already sending some messages to Tweetbot, and they're having some fun. All right, so good. So first things first, most of our bounties will require some sort of social media interaction, particularly to keep things simple. We're gonna do it on Twitter. We had a great response from a lot of people that were sharing some of their screens, some of their work, some of their notes. Has been quite a fun experience for us because it gives an idea of the community that we're building, and we're also learning and picking up some knowledge for you. We coming soon, and by the end of the month, some people are saying hi, and then Tweetbot is saying hi. I'm a Tweetbot. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? So we're going to be looking to do some experiments quite soon. Particularly, we want to involve governance, right? So right now, the protocol is decentralized. Anybody can send messages to anybody. We have funky bots, and all that is fun and interesting. But what happens if we want to coordinate people to achieve a goal, right? And that is going to be something that is going to be very interesting because that will be the grounds for governing the protocol. As a decentralized blockchain company, is very important for us to give powers to the people as soon as possible and help us to pretty much drive the conversation one way or the other, right? So right now, everything is being driven by the HOPR Association, but the moment we implement governance and we pretty much have an idea of what the system and the community wants us to focus on, that is when we're going to be, going to be very important to have a governance mechanism, right? So we're going to be running some experiments. Please wait on that. Regarding past bounties, unfortunately, we were quite delayed on some of the bounties. Sadly, the fees have been a little bit high, so we're looking in some mechanisms to pay those back. But please rest assured that before the end of the week, we'll make sure to pay some of those bounties. So please think again. And as a final comment for the bounty part, and then I will give a quick demo on the bounty section, is all our code is open source. So if you are technical, if you're curious, you can go to the HOPR Chat and you can see some of the work that is going on there. So we already have a new bounty that is going to be announced next week. And if you are paying attention to the code, then you will be able to get ahead of the curve and pretty much learn how to win this bounty, right? Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna just go a quick rundown of how to do the pass bounty. So the pass bounty, we were asking people to send a message to Tweetbot. Tweetbot, you see the screen or behind here, it's not doing anything. Tweetbot is connected to a HOPR node, right? So we deployed a Tweetbot behind the behind the network, and it's listening to any messages that you are sending, right? Because it's a bot, you can send as many messages as you want. But I think what it's important is there's roughly 9 people connected, right? So let me just pick the Twitter bot address. So there's a few things that are important for Twitter bots. So these bots, because of the nature of the protocol, we're not including any information of the people that were sending a message, right? So right now, if you send a message to another person, you just get that message. You get pretty much nothing, right? So I'm gonna quickly grab this little guy over here. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna grab this little guy over here, which is another console that I have up and running. And in this one, I'm gonna check my address. So my address it ends with A4A4, in case you wanna say hi. I'm available, I'm connected, and then I have another one that it's say CAN, right? So if I do, I'm just gonna enable this. So if I send a message to myself, I'm gonna do this here, and I say, hi there, how are you doing? You see that the message is, hi there, how are you doing? And then the latency is minimal because, of course, I'm talking to myself. But that's it. That is all the information. That is the beauty of the HOPR protocol, right? As a design, we're not giving any information of who's sending you a message. That is very interesting, and that is part of the protocol, but of course can be a little bit boring if you want to get a message back. So as a result, we created this command in HOPR Chat that is called include recipient. So include recipient, what the only thing that it does is when you send a message, let's say I'm gonna send myself. You can also see that I'm pressing the key, the up key, so that way I can see previous messages. That way I can save a little of time. I'm gonna send another message. Is how are you doing? But this time, you can see on the top, on the bottom of my screen, you can see that the address is also showing up, right? So this is the only way how the bots can actually talk to you. You need to make sure that you call include recipient, you put yes as the option, and then you can send some messages. So that was part of the instructions we give on the last bounty. We wanted to pretty much show you how to use this command. Let me just go back here. This command, and now we can use it with the bot, right? So the tweet bot ends up with, I think, 7 and V. So in this case, let's say I want to send a message to the tweet bot, NQD. Now, of course, imagine copying all this stuff, right? So this is crazy, right? This is no way that you can copy stuff. But we have actually on the HOPR chat, if you press the tab key, so the tab key is the one that is on your left up to your shift. If you press that one, it will automatically autocomplete the address that is connected. So this is also a very good way to know whether you are connected to that node, if you can actually reach that node. So I'm gonna say hi. And voila. So you can see that the tweetbot is answering me back. It's answering me back with its address. So you can see it over here. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger because I think very hard to see. But you can see it here on the address that I am able, that it's saying like, hey, send me a tweet with HOPR Games, your HOPR node address and tagging HOPRNet, and I'll get you some DAI. So let's do that. Just for the fun, I'm gonna grab a random tweet, right? So this is what we saw some people were doing. Of course, we coded over this, but let's imagine I send a tweet. I'm gonna send any random tweet, right? And Tweetbot is smart enough to know that it's like, oh, that's definitely a tweet. But I can see HOPRNet in it, right? So let's grab another one, right? So let's see someone that has mentioned HOPRNet. Let's see. All right, let's grab this one from Sebastian. Let's grab this one, right? So I want to get my sweet down. I want to get my bounty. I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send another tweet, and it says like, "Hey, that's a tweet, but it doesn't include HOPR games." So we're trying to definitely use a lot the HOPR game stack. That it will help us to provide some mechanisms and social interaction, and it's important for us to also give a very good understanding of how many users are doing the network. Right now, so just to move forward, the people that were doing the bounty properly, so some people were retweeted by the HOPRNet account in Twitter. So in this case, let's say we have in script ph. I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna copy this little tweet over here, and I'm going to now send it to the tweet bot, and it will be like, all right, congratulations, fill a form to get your reward, right? So we're gonna try to fill the we were trying to gather as much information as possible for the people that were doing the bounty. Right now, unfortunately, we already went through the limit of the amount of bounties that we will be paying. So if you finish this tweet challenge, we unfortunately cannot pay it anymore. But anyway, this is just to give you an idea how you were supposed to finish the challenge, and pretty much how you were supposed to answer the comments. All right, so we're gonna do a quick intermission before we do to the Mazebot. So I'm gonna go just jump really quickly and see some of the comments that we have. Let's see. Let's see this version. I think Jonathan Lewis asking that there's a few issues with the. Let's see. What's your? So I mentioned sometimes might be a little bit challenging to find some of the nodes that are connected in the network. Maybe you don't have maybe you're behind a firewall, an enterprise firewall. Maybe there is an issue with the version that you're running. But it's important that we keep testing this kind of things because for us it's extremely relevant to increase the protocol. Let me see. Let's see if there's any comments on Telegram. Very quickly. Send the new version, core, chat. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So some people were downloading the new version that works for them. For some people that had the old version, you can also just change the environment variables, right? So I think right now we're going to be enhancing our documentation for the most advanced setup to showcase how to change some of these things, right? So you can see that some people keep sending some tweets. That is very good. We're gonna be leaving Tweetbot and Mazebot. We're gonna leave it alive. We're gonna leave it live, and then I'm gonna show you how you can play with Mazebot on your own. Of course, right now we're gonna I'm gonna be playing some bounties and try to get some money. As always, please make sure that you keep your Hopper node address up and running, and then I'll make sure to have and send you a message afterwards. Let's see. Let's just do a quick hop in Discord. I think we got some comments there. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Rich. Finally, as an additional comment, I think we also had a person right now the way, and I think I made a small diagram over here. I think so. Yeah. So right away, the way Hopper connects and interacts with these applications, as I mentioned, you have your computer, it goes through the router. Let me just do actually do some labels. So you have your internet router. We have something on the Hopper association. We have another router. Sometimes this connection it just doesn't work, right? So sometimes this connection that you are trying to connect to a Hopper Bootstrap server doesn't work, and that is because the Bootstrap servers are being deployed mostly within in European and North America. So in some cases, particularly, we are exploring some of our users are from mainland China, and they had been struggling or connecting with some of our Bootstrap servers. We are actually doing another insider speak. We're actually doing some work to make sure that Hopper can work in other continents, and we will be very happy to give you an update coming soon. All right, so let's see. Before we jump directly into the games, I think there's some people keep sending some messages. So you see, for instance, somebody is sending a message. Let's say new package. So there's a person over here. So let's say we can say hi. I can, if I want to send a message to the person, hi from the stream. So if you're looking to send a message to a person, I think the easiest thing is to see the first 3, 4, 5 um, letters that their address comes to. And in the next release of HOPR Chat, we will be introducing a command called name that will allow you to abbreviate or at least alias some of the commands right now. So because right now we're doing send and then these addresses, but ideally we want to do something like name, let's say this address, and then we say something like person one, and then ideally then we can do something person one. Of course, we can with ideas that we can do Mazebot, um, multiple different things. But the idea is to keep using the HOPR chat to kind of like enhance the general experience and keep testing HOPR chat as a protocol. Good. Let's give it 1 minute and then we can just jump very quickly to the HOPR Chat session, to the HOPR games. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think we always do something like 15 die, 20 die. So I was just being reached by the by one of the Hopper team members that apparently there's a lot of people using an old version, right? So I'm just gonna spend a few minutes very briefly describing how to download the latest version. So you can either go on HopperNet or directly to the HOPR Chat. So on under HopperNet/HOPR Chat, you can download the latest version here on their latest. I'm gonna copy that link on all the channels pretty much. So on the stream, I'm gonna be, let's say, latest version here. Oh, Jonathan, you reply. Let's see if we can ping you around that. Then on Telegram channel, please make sure you have the latest version. Okay. Perfect. So make sure that you have the latest version. Make sure that you're connected to the correct network. One of the reasons we're doing this is because unfortunately right now we're still on testnet, right? So that means that we are upgrading the protocol. We're doing some changes on the actual implementation of the core application. So that means that sometimes we need to change different networks, and sometimes those are not backwards compatible, right? So you are kind of like isolated if that case does not work. I think I did a small, maybe we can do like a small diagram right now. So I think the latest version, for instance, I think if you are running version 1.3.0, we have over there, we have two Bootstrap nodes. Let's call it Bootstrap nodes here. So right now, if you connect with version 1.3.0, you're going to be connecting here, and then they will introduce you to other nodes, right? So they will effectively be telling you how to talk to other nodes, and then you can do connections. However, 1.3.1, it's in a completely different network. And then in this case, we have the code name is being Castel Grande. And then in these ones, we have the Tweetbot and we have the Mazebot. So if you are running pretty much version 1.3.0, you are connecting to this network and you have no way to pretty much talk to the Twitter bot or the Mazebot, right? So please make sure to download the latest version. And if you stumble upon any issues or any problems, do not hesitate to jump to the Telegram channel. All right, we actually seem that we're going to have a nice announcement about a web app that we're also being working on. Okay, perfect. So let's just jump right away, and we are on the HOPR Mazebot, HOPR Games. All right. I'm just going to give a quick. So first of all, I'm going to do a quick demo. Again, just to explain the HOPR Mazebot. The dynamic is very simple. Download version 1.3.1 from HOPR Chat. Again, I heard the link. Make sure to run the include recipient command. So far, we haven't enabled that command by default. We don't want to include that command by default because, again, we're a privacy company. So I think it's very, very important that we always protect your privacy. But it's important for you to run this by default. Then you need to set a message to this lovely bot. I already pasted the address again, but for you to have an idea. And I added an additional mechanism, right? So then a mechanism is that it has a room, right? So in this case, I'm gonna start this game, and the room is called session 3. All right, someone is already sending messages to this little bot. What that means is I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, just to make sure people can read it. Right. What that means is that for sending a message to Mazebot, again, I'm gonna include recipient. Very important. Make sure that you do yes. You have included recipient yes. Right. So the Mazebot, the address starts with MQTX. So in case I want to do something like this, MQTX, I'm going to press tab and I get automatically the Mazebot. If I just send right now the L, which is what we did in the past, so in the past we had to send the movement, you will see that Mazebot does not move. And the main reason is because it's in the wrong room. And I will show you why. And the main reason is that you can also play Mazebot yourself, and you can play and practice with this on your own. But now what you need to do is also do the move, add a room. Sorry. So in this case, someone is already trying to get the session good. But you have to do is you do first you type session 3, and then you do up. There you go. So someone is already sending some moves to the Mazebot. But pretty much that is it. We just do the session 3, we do up. Session 3, we do left, right? So this is just running on my computer. This is this gives us kind of like an idea of how much how many of the people that are interacting are able to send some messages. Just very quickly, I'm gonna grab one of the terminals over here to myself. All right, sorry about that. All right, perfect. That gives us an idea. And right now, when we're going to be running the Mazebot games, we're going to be doing them on live. So the only you can play Mazebot on yourself. I will share the URL afterwards. But the only game that is going to be counted, it's going to be the one that is here on the session. Since some people are already sending some moves, all right. So you have sent the an important thing is I think right now all the movements need to be uppercase. So if you are sending lowercase d, it will not work. You might need to do lowercase, uppercase d. There you go. Let me just help you with an L. Right, there you go. What else? What else? What else? Yes. Oh, okay. So before we get started, we're gonna do. I think we only gonna get time for 3 games, so we can just do that. Again, let's just do that very quickly. Let's just put prices. I think as always, let's do first prize. Let's do 15 die. Let's do second prize. Let's do 20 die. Then third prize. Let's go for 25 die. All right. And so let's just put this over here. Let's play some games. So the way that we're gonna be doing this this dynamic is that I'm gonna be sending you, because of we're still dealing with some of the issues for the payments. What we're gonna be doing is I will be sending to the winners some magic words that they will need to they will need to keep, and then you will have to send me those words. So then eventually after the session is finished, we can verify that you were the winner, and then we can do the transactions on that. Okay, so let me just do something here. Okay, so we're gonna do running a normal session for 15 die, 20 die, and 25 die. I'm gonna be changing the room, so so if you get it, you are ready, like ready, very, very, very ready to do just a spam, you know. I will make sure to change the room, so don't be afraid. We'll make sure that we're gonna do some, we'll avoid some cheating on the meantime. But I just wanted to do a quick check. I think Jonathan was having some issues. Let me see if I can send it. Yeah, I think Jonathan seems to be in a different network for sure. Jonathan, make sure to download the latest version, and if you are in the latest version, make sure that you are not connected behind a firewall. Just to give you the heads up. All right, since that we're almost done with the demo session, let's see. Okay, time out, Kevin. Which version? Okay, Let's see if we can get some. I think some people are also asking some comments. Telegram or the chat. All right, so I think we can get it started. Just to make fair, let's just make it as soon as possible. So I will be announcing the room. That way we can make sure that the room is the one that we'll be using for the stream. And that way we can make sure that the room that you will be seeing is the one that you need to send, right? So I think let's just do, we're gonna be doing HOPR tree. Perfect. All right, so let's get started. Let's see. The Mazebot address is the same. And right on. So to participate, again, then make sure to download 1.iteration.3. Make sure to run include recipient, send a message, and in this case, send with the room. In this case, is HOPR tree. And then the person that does the best, the total amount of better moves, it's going to be the winner. On the first one, it's going to be for 15 die. The second time, it's going to be 20 die. The last time, it's going to be 25 die. Okay, 1 second. So we already got someone that is send some messages. Ooh, we have some people already up and running. It seems that now we need to go back a little bit. So far we have 2 players. I think they're battling each other. Oh no, I wouldn't go that route. Okay. So see, this is why it's going to be fun to do some governance, right? Because here right now we're seeing some issues. No one else can see this maze other than people that are attending this live stream, right? So you have to see the stream. You then have to open HOPR Chat. You have to send the right move. And not only that, but you have to make sure that you send the move before other person does. Because for instance, if that person did down and then another person did down, then that will count as a bad move, right? So let's see. We have a few people really on getting on together. Okay. Let's see. There's good. So there's some people that are sending moves. So there's some people that are sending some moves. Make sure to send the room, right? So just I'm gonna do some chaos. Make sure that when you do the room, you do HOPR tree. So we did HOPR tree. I'm gonna send us to the left. Right. So that way, you know that you're sending that to the right maze, right? So right now, just to be as a little bit of bringer of chaos, just send us a little bit to the back. Let's see. Wow, WTV and Agor 4 are kicking it. They are very close to a draw. Let's see. I'm doing some debugging. Okay, we're getting very close. We have more players now. It's getting a little bit chaotic. Because all right, who wants to be first? Who wants to be first? All right. And voila, we are completed. There you go. Perfect, good work. All right, I will just quickly check the results. let me just gonna paste it very quickly on our internal channel, and then all right. So we think we have some. I think let me check. I actually didn't realize how many people we have a winner. Let me just. We're checking the results. I don't know if you're a fan of marbles, but I think that I would love to do something more like very interactive similar to that. So, oh, we have winner ends up with AGOR4. Let me send him a quick congratulations message. All right, so I'm gonna send them a quick message. Perfect. All right. Oh, good. So let's start it again. Let's see if we can do it now. Let's do for 25 die. 20 die. So before we do, I just want to make sure that everybody. I think there's some people that had some issues with the network. I think. Let's see. Oh, okay. So there is some person. So to send a good move, so to send a good move, you need to make sure that you change the position, right? So you need to change the position of the avatar, and you need to make sure that you are standing to the right room. So just because everybody was already getting a hand on the right room, I'm gonna rerun the run for the 20 second die. Let's start this game. Let's see how it looks like. This maze. Oh, this one looks fun. All right, so just get it started again. Just to gonna do a quick demo again. Just send to the address. It ends with 3kp. You need to send the room, so in this case it's gonna be HOPR3 again, and then space and the command. So you do down, right, left, up, right, down, left. Oh, wait. Let's draw a little bit here. Perfect. Make sure to send the room. Wait a second. I think. Yeah. I'm just verifying. Okay, we have a lot of players now. So our first winner player is on fire. I think that person is trying. All right. So see, this is what I'm going about talking about governance. So see, can we? I don't know if you ever played this thing called Twitch Plays Pokemon. I'm fascinated by this kind of like experiment. Oh yeah, we got it. Oh no. But the idea is just, to try to achieve a goal. But when you have a lot of people working together, it can get messy, right? So let's see if we can send this a little bit right. I don't want to play die. Oh, somebody's getting us. Oh. All right, that will be as much as I'll do. Uh, but that's the thing about governance, right? So when we have many people interacting with each other trying to achieve a same goal, it's tricky, right? Because you can have people that are trying to be malicious, which is a problem we're trying to solve within HOPR. We cannot guarantee that people that are going to be connected to the HOPR network are malicious. This is just part of the decentralized nature. It's just the way decentralized technology is. That there has to be some consensus mechanisms that allow you to agree on the things that are happening. The other problem is that you need to make sure that you can make some coordination, because if there is, in this particular case, the incentive is that of course the first person wins the die, right? So there's no incentive to work with other person other than your own personal interest, right? So you need to work with other people, but if you work too much with other people, then they might get depressed, right? So what we want to do, we will announce it by the end of the month. We want to play a game where if everybody in the network plays right, then, or well, perhaps not everybody, but at least a number of people play right, so we have more than just one node doing instructions, then there is a monetary reward for that, right? At the end of the day, we believe that proper decentralized solutions have a proper like digital incentive, that it makes sense, and it's not only just something that it's. Let's see, and I'm gonna help us a little bit here. Oh, oh, all right, yes, all right, perfect. All right, got it. Um, but yeah, long story short, the moment that we have multiple people coordinating, things like this happen, and we need to make sure that we can somehow talk to other people. Some people already noticed that if you send perhaps multiple messages at the same time, then those messages will eventually happen. But then the problem is that I'm just gonna send messages. Then the problem is that you might need to wait for the other person to send that message. So in this case, I'm gonna send. I can be waiting for the person that sends the next command. It is also very interesting. I don't know for the people that are having some troubles with the connection. I think the oh wow, oh wow, some got on fire. All right, it's getting close to a tie. Let's see, and complete. All right, perfect. Congratulations again. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a winner. Winner. Oh la la. Ooh, there was a tie. There was a tie. There was a tie. Oh, wait a second. Let me check. Yeah, no, there was a tie because I thought it was me, but no, it wasn't me. I think we'll figure it out a way to split the second one. So I'm just gonna very briefly reach the participants. So I think we're just gonna do. Oh, let me see. I think the first one. Okay, it was very close, but yeah. So for the person that ends with WTB, make sure that you do some crawls to make sure that we can find you, because right now we are not. Like I think both the bot was able to find you, but I didn't. I couldn't find you. So just to make sure as a reference. And then I think the other person that won. Yes, was able to send a message to the second person. Let me see. Let me just make sure that I am sending the right message. All right, perfect. So final round, and then we will just do some minor announcements. We're gonna overlap a little bit of the hour, but just to make sure that everybody is on the same mood, we're just going to do. What can we do? What can we do? Let's just do Mazebot. So the room, I changed it for the last and final price, 25 DAI. Let's just start the game. The room now, it's called Mazebot. Very important. So to send an address, instead of sending HOPR tree, you need to do Mazebot. So if you see my screen, you can see I sent a bad move because yes, that was me. For the people that already do, in this case, just if you are just turning in for a already reason, I just paste instructions. You can see the game going on. I will just now move entirely to support and leave the game. So go on and so forth. All right, this one is being very fast. Someone beat me to it. It's not too bad. Someone's crushing it. Oh, yeah, someone is crushing it. Yeah. Oh, this one was not even a competition. Someone just killed it. Perfect. All right, congrats. Good stuff. All right, let me just change this one. Perfect. Thank you again. I think very briefly. I tried to see. So the person of the third place was also part of the tires of the second one. So please make sure that you completed that you keep a record of your bot, of your address. The Hopper team is going to be reaching all of you guys. Let me just do third place. Second place, and this one. Yes. First prize. Okay. Perfect. Let me just. We will be reaching you in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you are not able to win, if you don't get any message, then make sure that you ping us in Telegram with a screenshot of your node. We have the IDs of the winners here, so we can know who is and who isn't. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, just for the record, make sure to do that. Perfect. So that was Mazebot for all of us. Thank you, everybody. Just a final update. I think we got. Let me see if we can get this one running. Got a small demo. Although my guess is this might not work. We'll see. So just oh yeah, I know why. Because I think we were using one of it's expecting to connect. It's expecting to connect with the local server, which I do not have, but I have a Mazebot server, which I think you should be able to connect. It's connecting. Huh. It should be. We'll give it a try later. All right, this is just a sneak preview. We are working on a web demo. So now HOPR Chat is being a lot of fun, but we know that it's a little bit to struggle with the timeout, with the issues, with everything. And some of our team members, our good skilled team members, are preparing kind of like a web app demo that is not only going to be interesting for you, for also being able to interact with our nodes very quickly without having to install or download anything, but also for developers, this is going to be the very first milestone for us to give you an SDK or something you can actually use to develop the applications. Sounds good. That is all for me for this time for today. Thank you again, everybody, for joining on this critical session. Please, for the winners, make sure to ping us on Telegram, in Discord. We'll be reaching you. If we cannot reach you, we'll try anyway other day. It's not a problem. Then that's pretty much it for all. Have a great day and take care. See ya.